Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out Algorand's price chart, and what we talked about in the previous video basically played out. But the main question in today's update is this: can we argue the final low is N, or maybe we are going to have another move down? And if we are going to get some more downward price action, how deep those moves are going to be? In today's video, we are going to answer all that. But let's just at the beginning cheer you up a bit and tell you that in Algorand, in my view, the structures are looking extremely bullish. I believe that we are having off of this low wave 1 followed by a correction for wave 2, and then we're gonna have a good move up into wave 3 for 5. Hopefully soon this is going to start, and this white 5 wave up is going to be into this larger degree wave 3 correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. Now, even if you want to say that I am wrong and this 1-2 scenario in the short term is not in play, and for example we are headed lower and we want to take all the lows down here, which the lowest one is about 14.5 cents, you know what, fair enough. Then may I suggest pay attention to what is happening on some higher degrees in daily time frame, because I believe there's like a very high chance that in Algorand, off of the lowest low in the cycle, about let's say 8.5 cents, to about this important high and not the highest high, around let's say 33.5 cents, we are having 5 wave up, potentially into a wave 1, followed by that, excuse me, let's just say this one. This is ABC down into A, ABC on the upside into B, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulse on the downside into our C leg in form of a running flat structure into wave 2. And even if you want to say this isn't a 5 wave, well, okay, maybe we're gonna have like 1, 2, 3 correction for 4, another move down into wave 5. The point that I'm trying to make is this: look, in Algorand, the structures are looking overall very bullish, and I do believe the end of our wave 2 is probably not going to be that far off from the current price. And after this wave 2 is over, what are we going to have? Probably a fantastic bull run into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And you know what, let's just even ignore this wave 4 and 5. Let's just focus on this wave 3, which in my view is going to be huge, and it is most likely going to happen by the end of the cycle. So no matter what I say about the short-term price action, please keep this scenario in mind, and the fact that overall we are looking extremely bullish. Now, having said all that, let's go on 15-minute time frame. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about Algorand, we were, I think, right around here, and the idea was that we may very well see yet another move on the upside. But even at that point, you need to be careful. Why? Because when we got this bounce back, this happened in literally minutes, and this happened way too fast, and as a result of it, we did create some gaps around the lows. And since I believe gaps 95+% of the time are going to get filled, well, okay, from my POV back in here, made perfect sense to argue, look, odds are this is going to be a correction structure, and after it's over, we are at least going to have another move down in order to fill all the gaps and maybe even go a bit slower. And finally, as you can see, we got our move down followed by a decent bounce. I'm going to talk about this one in a minute. Now, quick question: between these highs, which one is the highest one? Yep, it's actually right in here. And good news, I think you can say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the downside. Now, on a higher degree, I think now we can say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably another move down into wave 5. But the main question is this: can we argue the final low is in or not? Because you see, you can consider two different counts in this area. Let's go on 30-minute time frame. Scenario number 1 suggests that this is a 5 wave down, correction up, another 5 wave on the downside, and well, these might be the sub waves for, you know it, an A, B, C zigzag, suggesting overall we may end up having like a WXY in form of a double zigzag from the highs, and basically the bottom is in, and now it's time to start a beautiful looking uptrend. Scenario number 2, on the other hand, suggests that sure, this is 5 wave down, correction up, another 5 wave on the downside. However, on a higher degree, it might be like a wave 1, 2, 3, and where is your wave 4 and 5? The answer is you do not have it yet. So there is a chance that in Algorand, we are going to have some consolidation, let's say for the next couple of days into this wave 4, followed by that, we may end up having another move down into wave 5. But I don't really think that even if you want to go according to discount, you should be that worried. Why? Two very important reasons. Number one, if we're going to have this 5 wave down, this is actually going to be the end of a potential correction structure down starting from this high, and it can be, I'm going to say, potentially in form of like an A running flat into wave B and another move on the downside into RC leg. Reason number two, you see, in terms of classic technical analysis, meaning supports and resistances, around this very important region between 19 to about 20.2 cents, we are having an unbelievably strong support from weekly and also daily time frame at the same time. And in my view, this most likely is going to hold. Meaning, let's be a bit pessimistic. Let's say the bottom is not in yet and we are having a correction structure into wave 4. Even in that case, I think for the next phase down into our wave 5, we may just go down and reach to about the lower band of the support around 19 cents area, but then we may see a very strong bounce, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without a lot of overlapping of the waves, which is a great sign suggesting the bottom is set. So I'm trying to tell you this. Look, in Algorand, I have seen what I needed to see, and now I need to see a very strong bounce back, and essentially I am going to, from this point moving forward, start bottom hunting in Algo, because I do believe that we are actually that close to the end of our move down. Now, having said that, let's go on maybe even 5-minute time frame. Okay, so here's the situation. If this move down right in here is going to continue a little bit in Algo, and in it we are going to take this important low, at that point, you can consider two different counts for the next, let's say, 48 hours. Either we are going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order to take this important low, or maybe we are going to have for the next 48 hours some more chopping around. Maybe this is going to end up being just a triangle structure, and then guess what, we are going to have another move down. And why is taking this low is going to imply a bearish scenario is happening, because simple reason, you see, if you want to argue that we're going to have our final low around this region, then okay, show me off of the lowest line here, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up in order for me to flip bullish. And one of the most important rules for a 5 wave on the up or maybe downside is that in any kind of 5 wave, actually, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave, okay? It's very, very important to know that, because if I just zoom in more, okay, question. If we go down in Algorand and take this important low, at that point, how exactly are you able to find? From here to about the highs, a 5 wave, if you want to say the bottom is set, are you going to say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside? And since we are having overlapping of the waves between our supposedly wave 4 and 2, well, okay, this actually narrows your option to potentially an expanding leading diagonal. And here's the deal, even in an expanding leading diagonal, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. So let's just measure it real quick from here to about the highs and compare it to the other waves. Is it smaller than our wave 1? The answer is by a decent margin, yes. Is wave 3 also smaller than wave 5? Absolutely. So again, conclusion is the same. If we go down in Algo just a little bit more in the next couple of hours, and in it we take this important low, at that point you should consider this whole move as a correction structure. I'm gonna say potentially in form of like an A running flat into wave B and another 5 wave up into our C leg, meaning, well, the bottom probably is not in yet, around 20.26. And again, either we are going to consolidate in here some more and get another move down, or maybe this is going to be a wave 1, 2, and then good move down into wave 3, 4, 5, and we're just going to go straight down in order to take the recent lows. So in conclusion, in Algorand, I really have a hard time believing that we are going to break this very, very important area. And by the way, if you want to say this support is broken, you need to actually go on weekly time frame and see a candle close under here, followed by that a pullback, and then a continuation of the move down in order to take this low. Again, please understand this process has to happen on weekly time frame, meaning there is very much a possibility that you are going to see something like this consolidation, another move down, and maybe for like a day or two we are going to go under this region. But if we get an immediate bounce back, this is going to fall into the category of just a simple fake out, meaning what? The support is not broken yet. And since again this is such a strong support, I think our bottom is going to be achieved right around here. And then we want to see off of the lows a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and followed by that, this is actually the key, a correction structure on the downside if we want to be bullish and say the bottom is set. If we see something like this, okay, right around the lows in here, I'm going to tell you, look, this is a great long opportunity in algo, since we may end up having in here wave 1, correction for 2, and what's next if this count is going to play out? I think you know the answer. Huge move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. But you know, let's just not for now at least get ahead of ourselves. Let's just focus on the current price and start bottom hunting and understand the fact that probably downsides from this point moving forward in algo are very, very limited. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Algorand's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.